Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. Signing of a partnership agreement to promote employment and the economic empowerment of young people. Djibouti, African Capital of Law and Memory, Heritage and African Forum in few days. And now for the international news in Gaza, start of prisoners exchange between Israel and the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas. Welcome to our newsroom. The details now. The Ministry of Health of Djibouti, in partnership with the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, RCO, and the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, ANPH, officially launched on October 13, 2025, a budgetary analysis study of the health sector 2019-25. Attending the ceremony were Mr. Duali Saeed Mahmoud, Director General of ANPH, Mr. Omar Ahmed Wais, Second Vice President of the National Assembly, and Mr. Mohammed Ali Mohammed, Secretary General of the Ministry of Health. The study places particular emphasis on the inclusion of persons with disabilities and aims to assess public spending, identify gaps, and formulate recommendations for better resource planning. The initiative aligns with Djibouti's international commitment to human rights, notably the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and a Sustainable Development Goal number 3, good health and well-being. The Ministry of Health also emphasized that hospitals and health centers across the country are now better prepared to welcome people with special needs in dignified and inclusive conditions. During his address, the Director General of ANPH, Mr. Duali Saeed Mahmoud, emphasized that this budgetary study represents a crucial step toward greater transparency and inclusiveness in the national health system. He stated that the primary objective is to gain a clear and detailed understanding of the financial resources that have been allocated specifically for persons with special needs, by identifying the actual expenditure made and highlighting any discrepancies or gaps in funding. The study will provide valuable insight that will help to better inform decision-making, improve the targeting of public resources, and ensure that future public policies are more equitable, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of all segments of the population. In his remarks, the Second Vice President of the National Assembly affirmed the institution's commitment to strengthening budget oversight mechanism and ensuring that public policies are designed to fully incorporate the specific needs of vulnerable populations, particularly persons with disabilities. He emphasized that the National Assembly has a vital role to play in promoting inclusive governance and in upholding the principles of equity and social justice through legislative and budgetary action. And now, Ahmed Roble Abdillah, in his speech, the Minister of Health emphasized that hospitals and health centers throughout the country are now significantly better prepared to accommodate persons with special needs.
It is with great honor and deep satisfaction that I speak today at the official launch of a study on budget analysis of the health sector for the period 2019-2025. I will first like to thank our long-standing partners, the Office of United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, the Office of United Nations Resident Coordinator, and the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities. Their commitment and technical supporting were instrumental in the implementation of this ambitious initiative. These studies, ladies and gentlemen, is part of a drive for transparency and accountability, but also a continuous improvement of our health system. It aims to rigorously assess our public spending in the health sector, identifying potential gap, and propose recommendation for better planning, but also allocation of our resources. We pay particular attention to the inclusion of people with special need in accordance with our international commitment, notably the Convention on the right of person with special need as well as sustainable development goals. I am proud to announce that our hospital and health center are now better prepared to welcome people with special need in a human and inclusive condition. Considerable efforts have been made to adapt infrastructure, train staff, and develop a health service accessible to all. However, we are aware of challenges that persist, particularly in a context of increasing economic pressure related to the care of people with special need, as well as refugees and migrant population. This is why this study is permanent importance. It also allows the better understand of our budgetary realities and strengthen the coherence of our public policies. Our vision is clear: to build a more equitable, resilient, and truly inclusive health system, a system where every citizen without distinction can access health care while respecting their dignity and fundamental rights.
And now the NPH, in collaboration with MENFOB, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, organized a significant ceremony today at the Specialized Teaching Center for Children with Special Needs. The event was marked by the distribution of school supply kits and Perkins Braille machines, intended for visually impaired and blind students. The welcome was led by the Director General of Education, Mrs. Lula Ali, and the Director of Center, who received the officials in warm and friendly atmosphere. The ceremony was presided over by the Minister, Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, accompanied by Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble, Minister of Budget, as well as Mr. Duali Said Mahmoud, Director General of NPH, and several other dignitaries from the education sector. In his speech, Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble praised the work of teachers, highlighting that their role goes beyond traditional teaching and contributes significantly to the country's development. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to providing every child with the necessary tools to succeed. His Excellency Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud also expressed his gratitude to educators for their dedication to children with disabilities. He emphasized the importance of moral supports and assistance provided to both students and their families. The ministry concluded by praising partnerships, particularly with ANPH and the Ministry of Health, as essential for promoting inclusive education. The ceremony concluded with the official handing over of the school kits and braille machines to the beneficiaries in a joyful atmosphere. The Director General, Mr. Duali Said Mahmoud, emphasized the strengthening of education and social support programs, as well as the development of adapted infrastructure to promote access to inclusive education. He also highlighted the importance of collaboration among various stakeholders, educators, families, public institutions, and partners to ensure coherent, effective support. According to him, these joint efforts are essential for guarantee that every child can benefit from a learning environment tailored to their specific needs while fostering their personal development and social integration. His Excellency Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble warmly praised the tireless dedication and invaluable efforts of teachers, underscoring that their role transcends traditional classroom instruction and encompasses a vital contribution to the social, economic, and cultural development of the entire country. He highlighted that educators are not only responsible for imparting knowledge, but also for shaping the future citizens who will drive national progress. Furthermore, he reaffirmed the government's steadfast and resolute commitment to provide every child, regardless to their background or circumstances, with the necessary tools, resources, and opportunities to succeed academically and personally, thus ensuring inclusive and equitable education for all. And now the Minister Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud expressed his deep gratitude to all educators who, with unwavering commitment, dedicate their time and energy to support children with disabilities. He emphasized the crucial importance of moral support as well as practical assistance provided not only to the students themselves but also to their families, who play a vital role in their educational journey. According to him, this comprehensive support is essential to ensuring a welcoming and inclusive school environment. The Minister also highlighted that the success of this initiative largely depends on strong and lasting partnerships. He particularly praised the collaboration with the National Agency for the Promotion of People with Disabilities and the Ministry of Health, which together help create favorable conditions for the development of inclusive education tailored to the specific needs of each child. And now into the joint presidency of His Excellency Mr. Omar Abdi Saeed, Minister of Labor, Formalization and Social Protection, and His Excellency Mr. Ramadan Abdullahi Badon, Minister of Communication in charge of Posts and Telecommunications. The signing ceremony of a partnership agreement between Djibouti Telecom and the NPH, the National Agency for Employment Training, not NPH, the National Agency for Employment Training and Professional Integration, NAFIP, was held this Monday. The purpose of this agreement is to promote employment and economic empowerment among young Djiboutians through the provision of multi-service D-Money Fund booths managed by young job seekers. These booths will provide them with a source of income-generating activity while encouraging entrepreneurship and financial inclusion. This project builds upon the social entrepreneurship program launched in 2023, centered around the rehabilitated multi-service phone booths of Djibouti Telecom. The agreement reflects the vision of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, who places the fight against youth unemployment at the core of the Djibouti Vision 2035. Now, His Excellency Ramadan Abdullahi Badon expressed his great satisfaction and enthusiasm regarding the signing ceremony of partnership agreement between Djibouti Telecom and the NAFIP.
Nearly 2 years ago, on October 26, 2023, I had the great privilege of presiding over the launch of Djibouti Telecom's first social entrepreneurship project, the initiative to rehabilitate and to repurpose all public phone booths. Today, I'm doubly honored to co-chair, alongside my colleague, the Minister of Labor, the official signing of a new Memorandum of Understanding between Djibouti Telecom and the National Agency for Employment Training and Professional Integration, NAFIP. The government of Djibouti, guided by the Djibouti Vision 2035 launched by President Ismail Omar Guelleh, has made the fight against youth unemployment a national priority. We know that micro, small and medium-sized enterprises are the real engine of economic growth, both in the neighborhood of Djibouti City and across the 5 inter-regions Alta, Al Sabih, Dakhil, Tajura and Obokh. It is in this spirit that Djibouti Telecom launched its very first corporate social responsibility initiative in 2023. In 2023, the multi-service booth project was never just symbolic. It was designed to offer real alternatives to unemployment by supporting youth-led micro-enterprises. The success of this first phase speaks for itself. These spaces have become powerful tools for inclusion, self-employment, and financial independence. Today, we are here to build on that success and scale up. We proudly celebrate a future-oriented partnership between NAFIP and Djibouti Telecom with one shared goal: to promote employment, digital inclusion, and social empowerment. As part of this renewed effort, Djibouti Telecom will invest in a new wave of modern booths, a bold move to create more jobs, support innovation, and continue nurturing an entrepreneurial spirit in the face of rising youth unemployment.
And now, His Excellency Mr. Omar Abdi Saeed, the Minister of Labor, Formalization and Social Protection, for his part, expressed his strong support for the partnership agreement.
Cette initiative marque un tournant décisif dans notre stratégie nationale de promotion de l'emploi des jeunes.
It is with immense pleasure and deep satisfaction that I stand before you today alongside my colleague, the Minister of Communication, to preside over this important signing ceremony between Djibouti Telecom and the National Agency for Employment Training and Professional Integration. This agreement marks a significant milestone in our national strategy to promote youth and employment. It reflects our government's strong commitment to creating real and practical opportunities for our young people. Providing D-Money kiosks to young job seekers is more than just an administrative step. It is a gateway to economic independence, to entrepreneurship, and to greater financial inclusion for our youth. This partnership clearly demonstrates the kind of public-private collaboration we aim to strengthen, working together to address the challenges of youth unemployment. I commend Djibouti Telecom for its vision and sense of national responsibility. By taking part in this initiative, the company is playing an active role in our country's development. Mobile money services are expanding rapidly in Djibouti. This initiative is fully aligned with Djibouti Vision 2035 and our national employment strategy. It shows how innovation and financial inclusion can be powerful tools for economic empowerment. Lastly, I would like to thank the government of Djibouti and the World Bank for their essential support in making this project a reality.
And now, as I mentioned on the title, in less than 2 days, Djibouti will host two significant events: the African Forum of Official Gazettes and the Heritage Exhibition. These events are scheduled for October 15 and 16, 2025, under the high patronage of President His Excellency Al-Haj Ismail Omar Guelleh. The African Forum of Official Gazettes will gather jurists, activists, archivists, parliamentarians, and government officials from across Africa, including Mauritania, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Namibia, Burkina Faso, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Somalia. The forum aims to improve the governance of legal information and enhance Africa's legal sovereignty by fostering institutional transparency and cooperation among countries. At the same time, the National Library and Archives will open the Heritage Exhibition, presenting an immersive journey through Djibouti's history. The exhibition features archival materials, rare objects, oral histories, and photographs, highlighting the key moments that have shaped the nation's identity. Together, these events demonstrate Djibouti's dedication to preserving historical memory while promoting the legal and institutional development. They also reinforce the country's role as a regional center for legal standards and cultural heritage, contributing to the broader goal of Africa's sustainable development and sovereignty. Now, STEM Power, a non-profit organization that has established over 150 STEM centers across sub-Saharan Africa, announces the opening of two new centers in Djibouti in September 2025. Located at Djibouti High School and Hodan High School, these centers aim to provide young people with direct access to modern resources in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This initiative addresses a critical need for practical and technical education. These centers will be equipped with computer and electronics laboratories, enabling students to acquire essential technical skills. This innovative environment will promote active learning, foster innovation, and enhance local economic competitiveness. To ensure the smooth operation of these centers, dedicated teams will be established. Each center will be managed by an administrator responsible for overall coordination, supported by two mentors, either teachers or experienced students. STEM Power's funding model is based on strong partnerships. The organization will provide necessary equipment, furniture, installation, and initial training. In return, the host schools, in collaboration with the Menfop, will provide the facilities and ensure maintenance. Additionally, donors and partners from public, private, and NGO sectors are invited to contribute complementary funding for projects aimed at expanding and improving the laboratories. STEM Power welcomes this initiative, which promises to transform STEM education in Djibouti and inspire the next generation of innovations. And now, today, Sunday, October 2025, the Customs Division of the Tajura region, in close collaboration with the National Police, conducted a major seizure operation at the Djibouti-Ethiopia border. During this operation, authorities confiscated 119 packages of pure cocaine, estimated to weigh approximately 3 kilograms. These narcotics were found in the possession of four foreign nationals who were attempting to smuggle the drugs into Djibouti. The successful operation demonstrates the vigilance and determination of the Customs and Law Enforcement Agency in combating drug trafficking and cross-border criminal activities. The four suspects were immediately apprehended on site and transferred to the prosecutor's office for a further judicial proceeding and investigation. The authorities reaffirmed their strong commitment to relentlessly dismantle drug trafficking networks and urge the public to remain vigilant and cooperate fully with security forces to maintain the country's safety and stability. Sport. Now, the Republic of Djibouti achieved a historic milestone at the African Table Tennis Championship, currently taking place in Tunisia. In their very first participation in this continental competition, the Djibouti national team distinguished themselves by securing a resounding victory in mixed doubles against the Mongolian team. This achievement marks an important step forward in the development of table tennis in Djibouti and is a source of pride for the entire nation. The Djiboutian players have thus begun their African journey with enthusiasm and determination, buoyed by the support of their fellow citizens as they continue in the tournament. We go into Kenya now. In Nairobi, the 24th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa held on October 9, 2025 in Nairobi. The details on this report.
The 24th Summit of Head of State and Government of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, held on October 9, 2025 in Nairobi, conclude with a call to reorient the global financial system toward African institutions capable of sustainably supporting the continent's growth. The leaders of the 21 members countries meeting at the Kenyatta International Conference Center emphasized the need to strengthen regional financial institutions such as Trade and Development Bank, the Afrexim Bank, and the African Finance Corporation to finance Africa's economic priorities independently of financial structure dominated by rich countries. A new investment of $100 million in TDB as well as an additional $50 million for Afrexim Bank was announced to increase the continent's financing capacity.
And now in Gaza, the start of prisoner exchange between Israel and Palestinian resistance movement Hamas. 20 hostages released and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners freed under the international mediation.
Prisoner exchange between Israel and Palestinian resistance movement Hamas began. 20 hostages handed over and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners released under international mediation. The region witnessed a major development today in effort to consolidate calm between Israel and Palestinian resistance movement Hamas with the launch of the implementation of a prisoner exchange agreement reached under international and regional mediation. According to the International Committee of the Red Cross, 20 Israeli hostages were handed over from the Gaza Strip to the organization's team for transfer to Israel. This is the first phase of an exchange process that is expected to continue with further releases in the coming days. In return, Israeli authorities have begun the release of nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, including those serving long prison terms. This exchange is the result of an intensive guarantees, considering this operation an important humanitarian and political step towards a lasting trust.
And now in Egypt, the Sharm el-Sheikh summit opens with the signing of a comprehensive document concerning Gaza. The peace summit on Gaza began in the Egyptian city of Sharm el-Sheikh under the joint presidency of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and U.S. President Donald Trump, with the participation of more than 31 leaders from countries and regional international organizations. The presidents and leaders of the United States, Egypt, Turkey, and Qatar signed a comprehensive agreement related to the accord between Israel and the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas, held under the theme Sharm el-Sheikh Summit for Peace. The meeting aims to end the war in Gaza Strip and to strengthen efforts for peace and stability in the Middle East. The summit comes following the recent ceasefire agreement reached between Israel and the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas, mediated by the USA with the involvement of Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey. Key participants include Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Emir of Qatar Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, King Abdullah II of Jordan, French President Emmanuel Macron, Iraqi Prime Minister Shia Al-Din, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. This is it for this 9 p.m. English News edition. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more on RTD.